And we live.
We are live. What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. I'm in the building. Edia is in the building.
Hey,
Joe, you in
hey.
the building. Spin, you in the building.
Yes, sir.
Listen, for all of y'all who are watching right now, this is not a second head. It just so happens that today, 7/7, is Joke's birthday. So first and foremost, happy birthday, Jokes.
Happy birthday,
Appreciate it.
brother.
Appreciate it.
Okay. It is also my youngest daughter's birthday.
Yes, it is.
Somehow,
Happy birthday, India.
these two managed to have the same birthday.
Hey.
So she wanted to come on. She said, "Y'all are doing the show live?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Are y'all gonna sing happy birthday?" I said, "Maybe." She said, "Can I come?" I said, "Yep." You want to sing happy birthday?
Yeah.
You do?
I do it alone.
No, you don't have to do it alone.
okay.
I'll sing with you. But if I start singing and I don't hear you singing, Jokes is gonna be really sad.
I'll
So do we all
Good
just
thing.
say? Are we just gonna all sing it since it's like it's going both ways? Is that how this works?
Hey, listen, we can. My concern is the slight delay between all of our voices.
Yeah,
But
that's
listen,
gonna be bad.
maybe it'll work out. I'll count to 3. We'll get it started. 1 round. I'm not gonna ask you how old you are. I am gonna say how old you are later. We're not gonna worry about that right this second. But we at least gonna get 1 round in. Can we do that?
Let's
Yes?
give it a shot.
Give it a shot. See
All
what
right,
happens.
let's do it. On 3. 1, 2,
One happy birthday.
3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Edia.
Both of y'all.
Both of y'all.
Happy birthday to you. Hey, I think that actually worked. That worked pretty well. Yeah.
And many more. Right?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do.
What we got?
How old are you?
11.
You are 11 today. And Jokes is exactly 20 years older than you. That what does it make him?
31.
Got it.
I didn't do it.
No, J.
I
Robert
didn't say
Deans,
it.
we are not the same age.
Happy birthday to both of y'all. Hey, listen,
Can't tell
we made a
me.
cake. Didn't we make a cake?
Yeah.
You had some cake?
Yeah.
The cake is bomb?
Well, I didn't eat cake yet.
All right, well, but your grandfather said the cake was good, and that means the cake is good because he's a pretty rough judge. So we gotta make sure we save at least 1 piece for Jokes. Okay? She look like she don't really want to
I
say
know,
it.
I know, really.
Right.
It's like, whoa.
I
I
ain't
know
sure
our
about
birthdays
that
are the
one.
same. Like, I know our birthdays are the
singing happy
same day,
birthday,
but
but yeah,
hold
I'm
on,
about to
hold
give him
on.
some cake.
Yeah, come on. We can give him some cake. He said he didn't get no present, so we can give him some cake. All right.
We get
You want to give him a present too? That's what's up. I know you got money for your birthday, so we'll work that out. Okay. All right, go on about your business. We're going to get down to business. Thank you for joining us. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday licks later.
Hey.
Hey.
Going down. There's no 2 ways about it. Once again, happy birthday, Jokes.
Appreciate it.
I know you for a long time, guy.
Dog, long time. Long time.
Like elementary school or something, I think.
Something like that.
You was a little
Oh.
guy. You was a little guy, yeah. You was a little guy. All right, so look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Jokes, you have anything specific you want to say to anybody who's out there, who's watching, whatever, before we get into the show? It is your birthday.
I mean, appreciate all the birthday shout outs. Big shout out to my man J. Robert Deans. Sent me a picture right before we got on. If you guys were watching, you know about the Green Ranger cowbell, the Music Ranger and all that. My man drew up me a Green Ranger cowbell Ranger. So I got that. I wish I could show that so you guys can see it right now, but I got it on my phone. I'm not gonna go through the extra right now to get it up to the screen. But J. Robert Dean, shout out to that. That actually made my day.
That's dope. You can just repost it.
Oh
You know what I mean?
no, I'm
Post
gonna post
on-
it after we finish
on
this.
the
It's gonna
IG.
be up.
Throw that thing up on the IG.
Yeah.
I definitely dig it. All right, so check this out, man. There's not a lot to discuss, but it's gonna get a little in depth,
Cool.
which generally means it's gonna turn into a lot.
Okay.
The first thing I want to do, I want to talk about this new Black Widow news. I don't know if you guys saw this. but apparently the MCU officially has a new Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all heard this?
I seen this.
Not.
Yeah. So let's just jump right in. So it looks like Florence Pugh, who is playing Yelena Belova in the Black Widow movie, is going to actually continue that mantle going forward. So there was an interview in Entertainment Weekly, which drops this week but hasn't come out just yet, where they were talking to the director. And the director said, and I quote, "We didn't know how great Florence Pugh would be. We knew she would be great, but we didn't know how great. Scarlett is so gracious, like, oh, I'm handing her the baton. So it's going to propel another female storyline." End quote. All right, bruh. Before I start digging, because you know I love a good conspiracy theory, and you know I love to dig into some MCU lore. Sin, I'm going to go to you first because you didn't know that this was a thing. What are your first immediate thoughts about this?
Give me the movie. That's my first thought now. Give me the movie.
Okay.
I want to see the baton get back.
November is far away, right?
Yes. Man, Disney Plus that thing. Stop playing with me.
You're right.
I don't care. I'll pay for it.
I'll take an extra paywall for it. Like
I'll pay for it. I don't care.
I'll take the extra paywall right now.
Me too. I would do the same. Jokes, where are you on this? How you feel? What are you thinking?
You know, I'm in the same boat. I want the movie, but you know what? I'm okay with it. Just for the fact that they figured out a way to keep going with Black Widow, even though we know she died in Endgame. So I'm cool with it. And you know what?
Spoiler alert.
I mean, if you haven't seen Endgame by now, shame on you. Like, I mean, shame on you.
Facts.
But
Facts.
I'm cool with it. So, you know, this really sets up Black Widow to continue on for a very long time. I mean, same way Cap passed the shield off. We knew Cap was going to pass the shield off to somebody. So maybe we start seeing this as a, I don't want to say like an always recurring thing, but with certain characters, being able to pass the mantle off to somebody, I think in giving it new life, seeing it go in a different direction, I'm always about that.
I dig that. I just want to take a moment. J. Robert Deans. No, I've known him since he was in elementary school, not since I was in elementary school.
I mean, that would be like.
But he asked, and I just, I don't.
I'd be some super genius, baby. Man. I don't know.
He says he would rent it for $20 and then buy it again. The trailer alone gives him enough that he likes the possible character interactions with the other continuing Avengers. So here's where I'm at. Considering what films are coming, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Guardians 3, Thor, right now, Thor is really the only film that's coming that really contains one of the original Avengers.
At this point.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, I can't think of anything. I mean, her movie is a prequel. So that's another thing that's interesting to begin with, right? But in the comics, her character did have the mantle of Black Widow for a while. So it kind of makes sense, and I could see it happening for sure. The question is, what are we going to see with that? Because in Thor, we're kind of seeing a passing of the mantle as well, because we know we're getting Jane Foster as Thor. So we are seeing that. So yes, you're right. We've seen Cap pass the shield on. And so we're going to get Falcon and Winter Soldier, and that's going to give us a lot of feedback about that. I'm wondering whether or not she shows up there.
That's what I'm wondering.
That's a good one to show up in.
I'm thinking of all the ones you just mentioned that are coming out. I don't necessarily see Black Widow fitting into those, which would be a while until we actually see it. So Falcon and Winter Soldier would be a great place to kind of slide that information in, and it would have been out already. I mean, Black Widow would have been out already at the time, this would have came out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the thing for me that is like, all right, maybe she can't show up in Falcon and Winter Soldier, because I think right now that is slated to drop before this movie now.
Think so.
So that I don't think can be I mean, it could, and it could be that it would have been one of those things that we just would not have known until,
It would have hit and it
but
would
now we
drop.
will. I could see maybe them doing like they did with the Mandalorian. If you remember the Mandalorian, they actually changed the release date of like the last episode so that it came out before the last movie, before the last Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it does make me wonder whether or not we're going to see a shift, try to push that so that it aligns in some way with that movie. It still means that if you haven't gone to the theater and seen this movie, which again, we got to kind of keep something in mind here. For as much as they want this to be a big blockbuster and they pull in those ticket dollars, there's a lot of people who just still aren't going to feel comfortable going to the theater, which means even if you did something like that, they may be perfectly fine sitting home and watching, Falcon Winter Soldier to get their MCU fix.
Yep.
Because they're not comfortable going to the movie, but you certainly could spoil something in this movie for a lot of people. And I think that's tricky. So I'm a little concerned about how they're going to navigate this and how the changing landscape of movie theaters opening versus not opening and things getting pushed back and whatever, and the way that these storylines are set up and how they are supposed to work with one another, that concerns me a little bit. I'm hoping one of the things that I love about the MCU is the way its continuity has worked. And now that we're getting a prequel, technically, to kick off the first phase, we know this other stuff is coming in that phase, and it's totally possible because all the other MCU characters that are from the previous phases, the ones that are left basically have shows.
Yep.
That's, really what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we know a Doctor Strange is going to happen at some point. I don't know that a Black Widow ties into that.
Agreed.
Could it? Absolutely. But I don't know that it does. Everything seems to be going more multiverse, space, universe.
Well, maybe she could be in space with Nick Fury since he's in space. Maybe that's how they tie her into some movies.
Like my thought.
And I'm positive that he would know that she's Black Widow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I would think maybe let's say we get the Black Widow movie. This probably may be that after credit scene. So my guess, maybe we get a time jump where it jumps back to like the current like in-game timeline, and maybe she finds out that Natasha unfortunately bit the big one, and maybe we're gonna start to see her shifting. Maybe Nick Fury recruits her and is like, hey look, unfortunately I can't get Natasha, so I need you to come with me while I'm trying to go get this new plan up and going, because you know what, this one thing that happened was gigantic that happened on Earth, but hey, this thing out in space is getting ready to go down. I need a team to roll with me. So we can try to get
her name's Natalie Portman, Brooks and Dean's Natalie Portman.
You could be right. But here's another thought. We know that in this film, there's a bunch of women training in the Red Room. What if all of them are Black Widow? What if all of them run by Black Widow? What if the whole purpose is that you never really know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with Black Widow, so to speak, in terms of the program and the training and whatever. And so really, it's possible that she could have been acting as Black Widow ever since the end of this film.
True.
She could have been doing stuff with Fury. Doesn't mean anybody else has to know.
Right.
Because for all we know, nobody else really knows that any of what happens in this coming movie happens, except for the fact that they're saying that there's a Tony Stark cameo somewhere in there. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he ever sees her.
True.
Could be that he hears something going on. He shows up and he sees Yelena. And it's like, you ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Can't even see Black Widow. You ain't Black Widow.
Right. You know what I mean? So it just... And if he is the only person who knows it, he ain't around no more.
True.
Long gone in space.
That'd be real interesting. Information like this just makes me way more intrigued into what it is they're planning. You know what I mean? And I still rock with Feige. But I'm starting to go through MCU withdrawal right now.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I'm getting right now is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and this current season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is actually banging right now.
I'll tell you what we're not gonna do is we're not getting into spoilers for that right now.
I'm on par with that, but
But let me
age.
just the naysayers, the Agents of Shield naysayers. Y'all got to get on the ball. Play catch up.
Because this final
Just-
season,
Just sit through it because the thread.
I'm fighting
The
to
thread.
decide to watch it or not.
you need to do
Hey,
it.
bro, if you can sit down and watch bad anime, dog.
Dog, you can sit down and watch this season or catch up from wherever you are and get
No,
up.
I'm caught up. I just got to watch this season. I've just given up on it at this point.
Dog, you can't.
Bro,
No.
The things that are happening. We're not getting into it. We're not gonna get into that.
Ooh, yeah, we won't.
We're not gonna get into that.
But yeah, get up on
Here's
that.
what I do want to get into. So over the last week, Jokes, I noticed you accomplished something. It's not your birthday. Looks like you went through and finished watching all the DC animated films.
I sure as hell did.
We about to have a talk right now.
Yes.
We're gonna have a talk right now. So here's what I want to do. First of all, clearly you had to have enjoyed yourself because you was just like back to back,
Dog.
banging
Back to
them
back.
joints out
One
like,
ended. Went to the next one. Like,
Same
bro,
way I was doing it. Just
bro.
rolling through.
Brooks is asking, have we seen Runaways? I have not
No.
seen Runaways.
I have not either. I just haven't
That
taken
was
the time.
I think
Hulu.
that's on Disney Plus now,
I
but it was
believe
on
so.
Hulu.
Yeah, it was on Hulu.
And I don't have Hulu. Jay Roberts asking, did you find a good animated movie? You had to have. I see you, Eddie. Solid show. You know what's up. Listen. Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite DC animated film? Period.
Oh,
What's-
at this
what's
point,
the joint?
Apocalypse
Yeah.
War. Dog.
How'd I know?
Like,
How'd I know you were gonna say that? Now, before you get into why,
cool.
Sin.
Yes,
Favorite
sir.
DC animated film.
Off sitting here right now, I have to agree and say Apocalypse War. I do gotta go back and revisit
Dude,
some of the
but you
older
know-
ones.
Well, let me
But
rephrase. Let me say also,
Justice wait, hold on. Are we
League
talking about just the
Dark.
continuity, just the storyline, or just everything as a whole?
I'm
All their
saying-
anime.
I'm saying
Just DC
as far
animated
as
movies,
the movie
period.
itself, which one is the one?
My
You know
personal
why
favorite.
I'm doing this because you know we got to do this as a panel and
I
make
know-
a top 10.
I know
I'm down
my
with it.
personal favorite is probably still Mask of the Phantasm, but Apocalypse War.
That's cool.
I
Yeah,
did
but
that.
Apocalypse War is fire. Straight up. On the edge of my seat the whole time. Like, yo.
So let me tell you how last night I rewatched Apocalypse War for like the fourth time. But I also rewatched the Fatal Five,
Fatal 5 is pretty dope.
and I think the Fatal Five might be my favorite joint.
I did not
I
like
can
that.
still,
joint
I can
personally.
still, I can go along with that.
Bro, listen. Listen. Let me do this. I think DC's villains are probably some of the corniest villains. Like I think their designs are corny. I think they got the corniest villains, bro. I really do. Like I don't I don't generally find them super appealing. I think their heroes are so much more interesting than their villains, and I think that is very specifically the tug of war between their specific villains and heroes that is anything that makes their heroes seem. If you look at the design of the characters that are the Fatal Five, they are the corniest.
Corniest of them.
They are terrible. But let me tell you something. Man, them dudes and that girl, they pose a threat, bruh. Listen, there's a couple of things about that movie specifically. One for me is they went back to the original Justice League style
Yes.
from the animated series, which I just love. It feels so good to see them in that. The original voice actors,
All of
you know
them.
what I mean? Kevin Conroy, Batman. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I also like that it doesn't center on any of the actual main characters that we're used to from the Justice League.
True.
That it focuses on Jessica Cruz. That it focuses on characters we don't generally see. Starboy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I like that it's not just about the fact that they're fighting the Fatal Five. It is about Jessica Cruz and the fact that she's going through a mental illness, that she suffers from anxiety. She is still chosen as the Green Lantern to do this job and is consistently having to reassure herself that even though the Ring chose her, that she's still the right person for the job. You know what I mean? Like having Wonder Woman show up and be like, "Hey, Slim, why you ghosting me? Why would we call you? You're not answering," and then just pull out the sword and start swinging on her like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I think the Ring did a good job. You're good. And then just fly away. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up just like, stop ghosting me. You know, whatever. Starboy needing medication, having mental, like, I just feel like that movie tackles subject matter that just isn't common. It's not a common thread in movies, let alone in animated films.
Agreed.
And even though the DC animated movies tend to be more adult and they touch on themes that are outside of what you see in other animated films, this one is outside of even that, I think. And I know it draws from the comic book and so forth, which is cool. But it was nice to see them direct. It was also really nice to see Superman get cut with an axe,
dog,
and bleed out,
and
the
just
street,
bleed
like,
out. I was like, whoa, this is a slight difference from the original. Just like we see the cut here and there with the little drip of blood, but my man was laying out there just about to die.
Nah, like real talk, and like it's little moments in there where like when Batman shows up and Superman is laying on the table, you know, still hurt, you know, whatever, and he's like talking about what's going on. Yeah, I found him or whatever. And he says something to Superman. Superman's like, yeah, nah, it's healing very slowly and it hurts really bad. Thanks. Batman don't care, dog. You gonna be all right, Kryptonian. You good? Like, I'm moving on, bro. You know what I mean? I like the interaction between Batman and Miss Martian. I like that it also was a story about her initiation into the Justice League and that they bring her into the Justice League at the end. Like, there's a lot that happens in that film, and it just, watching it made me feel the way I feel even now when I go back and I watch the old Justice League show. But Apocalypse War is a banger, bro. That joint is a banger. I still think that one's my favorite. Right now,
I can run with that.
I don't think it's the best one, but I think it's my favorite.
Dig it.
They don't necessarily have to be the same thing.
True.
If you had to get rid of any one film from the long line of DC animated films, what gets the boot? What's the joint that's at the bottom of the list?
For me, Fatal Five.
Ew. I wouldn't. You know what? I'm going to pull the list up right quick. I got to look at the list.
I mean, all right. So.
You know what? I mean, actually, I do know one just because, like, I love the movie. I love the movie, but I feel like because of the way the title is, it just makes it deceiving. Like, I loved
which one?
Assault on Arkham. Like, I love it.
Sure.
It ain't a Batman movie. It's a Suicide Squad film.
It's not, but it's better than it's
good.
That is.
Maybe I wouldn't say I wanted to go away. I probably just want them to go ahead and brand it. I know they probably didn't think at that point in time they could probably do the Suicide Squad movie. I mean, eventually we got Hell to Pay, but
yeah,
that was straight up Suicide Squad. But other than that, like,
you know what? That would be the one that you think would go though. That's at the
not
bottom
to
of your
go.
list.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say to go, but I would say maybe the slight change. Like, I don't really. Hold on. Let's go at the list right quick. I'm gonna take a look at the list.
Look at the Superman one.
Which one? I just saw someone. Alfonso was like All-Star Superman, on his list to be the one to go to get dropped out.
And maybe that joint is that joint might actually be the weakest joint. It could be. Hold on. Which Superman joint is the one where he ends up fighting Slim on the moon.
Oh,
The Elite.
The Elite? You
That
would give?
joint was a banger.
Oh,
No,
I was
that
about to
joint-
say for a
that
second.
joint-
Superman versus Elite was tough.
That joint was tight.
That joint was tough.
The-
And I
You
like
might be
Superman.
right.
You know what? I know which one I would get rid
Ray
of.
Robert Deans, tell your wife I said hi.
Killing
Young
Joke.
Elsa cameo is stuck in the Spider-Man shrine for sure.
You know which one I would say could go, just purely for the fact that they, in a sense, redid it over again and made it a little bit better, is Doomsday. As much like I don't necessarily think we need to have the original Doomsday one in place, since we have the Death of Superman and the Reign of the Superman. So I kind of like the two of them together is pretty dope. Now, granted, Doomsday, I feel like it was a little bit more rushed because they were trying to take the whole entire comic line of from the beginning to the end and just cram it all into the one movie itself. I get it. So I think that one can just go away for the fact that we have Death of Superman and Reign of Superman, because Reign of Superman is actually pretty dope too. I really enjoyed that, watching it, just seeing the various versions of Superman. And, initially, like I don't want to really get into spoilers, but certain characters that came forward, kind of seeing, okay, this looks like this could really be the person, and then things happen, and you're like, oh, hold up, wait a minute.
It changes real quick.
And it shifts gears real
Tyrone,
quick.
we are talking about the entire slate of DC animated films.
You know what?
Not
Killing
just that.
Joker though.
Just
the
for
first
the
half of
fact,
that, yeah,
just for the
yeah.
addition of what they added in to kind of
Yeah,
fill the.
yeah.
I get you on.
Yeah.
That actually might be the worst one.
Yeah.
I could yeah.
That joint might actually be the worst one.
Because when they
Killing
announced it,
Joke
I
is
was.
important. It's important in the comic book history of things, but I think in the overall DC animated films,
It doesn't need to be there.
that joint's probably the worst one.
Yeah.
You know what,
The first half of that completely.
Fatal 5 is dope, but now that I think about it, Red Hood might be my favorite one.
Red Hood's in my top 3, definitely.
Red Hood is incredible, bro. That joint
I've
is
watched that a lot.
incredible.
Yeah.
That joint is incredible. Flashpoint Paradox is dope.
Oh,
Fire.
That joint caused so many problems, y'all. What's your favorite moment? I mean, look, Justice League Dark, clean.
Ooh.
Apocalypse War takes it to another step. What's your favorite moment from Apocalypse War? Yeesh.
Ooh.
That's tough, man.
Like
Probably the look on Lex Luthor's face every time he had to talk to Batman. He was shaking in his boot.
on facts. Should we throw a slight spoiler warning up here? I don't know how much we'll talk about this. I mean,
Look, I'm just saying, every time they had to have a conversation.
Say it.
Lex
If you think
face
you
was
get rated, because I know I'm talking to Spoiler Boy number 1.
I'm
So,
just saying, since we're talking moments, but no, I'm definitely on Lex Luthor. Like every time Batman popped up, my man, like I was just like, yo, this dude Lex Luthor is really shaking his boot. I don't think Superman ever made him shake in his
Not
boots.
like that. Not
More
like
than
not
that.
even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
But I'm honestly like this is gonna sound bad, but my favorite moment honestly is probably seeing the Justice League just fail in the beginning of it. It's not you don't necessarily always see the good guys lose, but when I mean these guys just flat out got their asses whooped because I mean Darkseid already knew what was coming. Like that caught me completely by surprise. Now, granted, if they'd have lost, retreated, and then try to come up with another plan to get it, no, they lost everything. Like
that took me for a loop too, especially how graphic I would say it was. Like I immediately sat up like, whoa,
I did the same thing.
Hold up.
And
Hold up. We just started here. Hold up.
Oh, because what's funny is like when I first put the post up that I started watching it, I had a list of people that was just talking to me through the whole entire thing. Friend of ours, Mike Flood. So I literally he's like, oh, you'll be back in a minute. So I got within that was between the first 5 and 10 minutes, and I was just like, yo, WTF? And he was like, yep. And you're gonna come back again another 2 minutes or so.
Where I thought it was gonna go with the story, it didn't. It kind of just stayed there. I was like, oh, I'm digging this. I'm really liking
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely seeing
Yeah,
them
you need to
just
watch it, bro. You
Yes.
gotta
Yes.
watch it, Jay.
just seeing the Justice
That
League just fail. Like as much as we know, good guys when they fail, you know the comeback is gonna be epic. So I mean,
bro, the thing about it is, it's not the Justice League. It's basically Justice League Unlimited failed, bruh. Like everybody.
everybody failed.
Yeah.
It's everybody, bruh. That joint, man. Listen,
Oh, you know,
I
I got
don't-
one other favorite moment too, but that's a spoiler. I don't want to say it. Like, it's a
okay, don't
spoiler.
spoil it. Don't spoil.
I'm
spoil.
not-
No, I did not like Darkseid's voice. It wasn't.
It was
the
a
original
little.
Darkseid. I can't think of the name of the actor who did it this time around, but it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close.
I won't.
I
I'm
didn't
not
like
going.
Darkseid's voice.
I'm not going to spoil it. It's a battle. There's a battle that is completely unexpected that I didn't know that I actually kind of wanted to see, but it was like one of those you put two verses together and you're just like this would have never ever happened before. You guys, you'll know which one. It's closer to the end. It's closer to the end of the movie.
The surprise characters you didn't expect to be there that ended up having a fight.
A little bit, kinda, a little bit. Kinda. So it was like a small guy versus the
You
giant
mean at the
versus like a
you
big
talking
guy.
about at the very end?
Yeah,
You talking about basically at the very end?
yeah, at the very.
Yeah. Nah.
Hey,
Like yeah.
That was,
Nah.
Tyrone already posted it in the chat, but he said Darkseid destroying Owen like he was getting a 30-minute workout at Planet Fitness.
Bruh. Why they gotta do my man John Stewart like that though?
Hey Slim, listen, got the hot magnet from the planet though.
Dog.
Hey, listen, that's the thing that kills it though, is like Darkseid is such a G. You know what I'm saying? Like, he told Batman, I'm going to Oa. Don't interrupt me.
Yeah.
For nothing, bro.
Nothing.
Don't interrupt me.
Yes, sir.
And when
Yes.
Batman interrupted him, he know if Batman interrupted him, it's something popping. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
He was just like, all right, I'm coming. I'm going to do this myself. Oh, and teleport a portion of Earth's magnet
that money here. I was
on
like,
the Oa so they know I'm not playing.
Right.
It's like,
well, my man
oh,
John.
what's wrong with you?
Dog, Stewart was reciting the Green Lantern oath. I was like, yo, my man about to get busy right quick.
I knew he was done.
wasn't.
I knew he was done. I'm sorry.
You knew he wasn't gonna make it.
I kept saying, I was
Wait,
thinking
wait,
positive.
We know it was gonna go down the way it went down. There's no way he
I
was
was
gonna
thinking
make it.
The way
positive.
that
First
movie
time they
was going,
showed him, my man was on the ground.
the way that movie was going, it's no way. Like, he
That's
ain't
true
about to
too.
make it out.
Everybody, I'm sorry. That movie was bad to anybody named John. If your name was John, I don't care what variation of your name in that movie, it was
Hey
bad
man,
for
listen,
you.
let me wait, hold on. Let me just say that this film, Justice League Dark, I like put Constantine in a whole new position.
Dog, Constantine is
Constantine, bruh. I know why they made movies for Constantine. I know why they did a show for Constantine, but nothing has done that dude justice.
Joe.
The way these couple of movies, even the little like CW Seed animated,
Mm-hmm.
did you watch that?
I didn't watch the whole
That they
thing,
put
but
together into the one.
dog,
Well, they put it together into one movie, so you can watch it all as one movie now. Bruh,
dog,
Constantine
it's a threat.
is the key, bruh.
Dog. That was
Yeah.
another prep moment too. Constantine was set. Dog. Batman knew
Also
a failure.
Swamp Thing.
Batman knew a failure was inevitable, and who knew he was going to have Constantine to be the key.
That is
I did
another
call
thing.
that.
That's one of those Batman moments.
I did call that one watching it.
We need to have a contingency plan.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Here's what I will say. You know what? Let me not say that. Here's what I want to do. What do we expect from the future? We've got a new trailer for a new film, Superman joint.
Mm-hmm.
This
What?
arc is over,
Yeah.
right? What do we want to see from the DC animated universe going forward?
I don't want to necessarily say a reboot, but I think with the setup that we've had up until now, I think for the new 52 or whatever you want to call this particular of that section of it.
That's basically what it was. Yeah.
I think maybe just a different direction. Maybe it ends up being a different universe per se of the thing, where eventually maybe they could, bring some in. But I would like to see a different way of how this would go. Like I think we've seen, like the New 52 is awesome, but maybe seeing a little bit more of that Justice League, like how the animated series was with. I don't know how to actually explain it, but just something a little bit different. Like just stay away from how everything was set up, the whole leading up to Apocalypse War. Let's do a brand new setup. If we're gonna, I don't want to say it's like let's do new origin stories. No, I don't think we need to do that. But I think give them new missions, new things to start on, where we're just seeing people highlight. Like everybody's at this point has had a highlight movie, so all the main cast of the Justice League, maybe starting seeing some spin-offs where we get some of the unlimited characters necessarily that haven't been shown as of yet. Because definitely the animated side is where you're going to want to do this at. Trying to pull some of these guys onto the live action, as of right now, it's just
that's
not.
Why I'm saying this is animated.
It's not going to happen. So
I don't think that would be a real thing.
So I think digging into the vault, digging into that DC vault of characters that we can go through, bringing them out, maybe modernize them, giving them newer abilities and things to kind of highlight and show really truly what they can do. I think this will be a good time to do that, and then eventually maybe doing something like a Justice League Unlimited type movie where maybe it is like one of the big bad moments that's happened, so we got to pull all these guys in together to try to do something. But
I mean, that's a possibility. I want to, Oh, you right, Alfonso. Hey, listen, Kilowog gets done dirty in every joint he's in. Every joint he's in, Kilowog is the worst, man.
Oh, Kayshawn. I see my man Kayshawn. There is a Red Sun Superman. Yo, you need to go watch that. Yes, there is. And it's kind of clean.
That joint is clean.
That joint's clean.
Kayshawn, you should go watch. There is a Red Sun Superman animated movie.
I do need to watch that one. I skipped it only because I was trying to get through the.
Oh no, I didn't want to skip that one. Like I wanted to see how they. And Red Sun is clean. Red Sun is clean.
I think as far as like animated movies,
Batman Beyond Booster Gold. All right, listen. I don't know if I want to see anything with Booster Gold.
Hey, I'm willing to see something with Booster Gold. Like,
are you?
I'm willing to see something with Booster Gold. I'm willing to see what they do with him right now. I think this will be the opportune. This will be the time to try to take a character like Booster Gold and see what you can do with him. I think this is probably one of those characters that you may be able to take, revitalize, and do something a little bit different. So I'm open to that one.
I mean, here's the thing. You might be right, but part of my concern is that this reset, now that the New 52 thing is over, and we know they're basically going to do a reset in the comics, that what they're going to lean into in the animated films is going to be whatever the new thing is they decide to lean into in the comics. And maybe try to tie that continuity together, which kind of makes sense.
It does.
I'm not saying it won't work, but I'll be honest with you. I'd almost like to see them do a Justice League show. I would like to see them do a Justice League show in the vein of Young Justice. Young Justice is... I just finished watching the second half of the third season of Young Justice.
I watched the third season.
I got to finish watching it.
That joint is incredible. It should get more play than it does. It was certainly too adult with themes that are way too heavy for Cartoon Network when they put it on Cartoon Network Saturday mornings. Like, you can't put that show next to like Uncle Grandpa. Like that it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like they don't belong together. That show really belonged more on like Adult Swim.
Almost, yeah.
And I would really like to see them. I'm not a super big fan of the more adult theme that DC is leaning into with like the Harley Quinn anime. I'm not saying they're not good or they're not funny or whatever. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I do feel like sometimes it's overkill. And to be honest with you, a lot of it feels like they're only doing it to make themselves seem different. Like this is the thing that makes us different from Marvel, is we're willing to show blood and guts and curse and sex and whatever, and it feels like it's too heavy. It feels overdone. It doesn't feel natural or regular or whatever. It
I
just
agree.
feels like it's being done for the sake of doing it. Harley Quinn in every joint she's in, including Apocalypse War, overdone. It's too much. Like, you could dial it down so much more. They're just pushing it. You know what I'm saying? And it feels disingenuous. And I think that if they were to take, but if you look at like Young Justice, it takes itself seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't overdo it. It still has its moments of levity. It still touches on adult themes and things like that that are heavier than what, you know, I would say a super younger audience. It's not something I can't watch with my 11-year-old, you know what I mean, or whatever. But it's something that is easy.
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess he dropped out for now.
I don't know. Maybe DC wasn't quite liking what they were.
Did they like the angle he was taking?
I don't know. Gage is, oh man, he got us looking all horrible over here. But like,
But you know what? Going forward, the animated movies, I would like to see him do a build up to Blackest Night. I would like to see that. I would like to see him do a take
and
on
he's
Black.
back.
My apologies.
Hey, I don't think I think DC is hearing what you're saying. They're not liking it very much. So I don't know. DC, Marvel, these conversations we having.
Well, it could just be the day that I'm already on them. That I might have it right. They don't want me to spill the beans.
They just trying to cut you off. Like, nah, don't you can't.
Yeah, I was saying when you dropped out would be like, as far as like the animated movies, I would like to see him do a build up to a Blackest Night. I think that would be kind of dope. Like a whole build up to that.
It could be a dope run for sure. Yeah, they run. Look, I mean, it would be kind of dope to see them lean more into the Lanterns and what's going on with them instead of focusing and relying so heavily on Flash, which also could tie in to what it looks like they're trying to do in live action.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If they do go ahead and do this Green Lantern joint, and they do the movie, and it is about the actual Lanterns and not specifically Hal Jordan and not, you know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of stories that they could tell from within just the Greens, let alone every other
color,
you know what I mean, color,
new colors
that's available. I look. How about this? What can Marvel do on the animated front to compete? Can they do anything to compete?
I mean, I think Marvel can do some okay animated stuff, but I don't think. What I hope they wouldn't try to do with it is try to directly compete and be like, you know, trying to do this same style with like the darker, edgier type thing. I don't think it would quite work if they did it. I think Marvel would just need to stick to how like their animated shows. Some of them can borderline be a little bit of the young adult type of thing, and I think that's probably where they probably need to be in their playing field for everything. Don't get me wrong. Having one or couple things here, maybe that's a little bit edgier than a few things would be okay. But I don't expect Marvel to just go right in and then Captain America like starts throwing his shield and like people's heads stop popping off when he throws them for stupid reasons like that or something. Like, I don't think they need to do anything. That's just not gonna work. Certain characters, like how they've demonstrated, you know, Deadpool being a rated R type thing, that would probably be the animated ones. I would be perfectly fine with coming out with the R rating because it fits. But I don't think they need to try to do that with the whole slate of characters. Because I mean, the animated movies they for the most part they did were pretty solid. I don't think necessarily
they are, but they just don't
hold up.
They don't. There's a couple of them that stand out. Hulk versus both of those stand out. Might be. I mean, there's a couple of Avengers ones. Next Avengers actually wasn't that bad. It's just not what anybody wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. I do like the idea of maybe them trying to tackle stories that haven't been seen or done in comic books over and over again.
Agreed.
And leaning into something new. I think their animated shows actually are pretty decent.
They're not, animated shows are
but the animated shows are pretty decent. But if they're gonna try to do animated movies, I do think they have to bring them up a bit. I do think they have to go a little more PG-13
I
than
think
what they've been.
I think they should lean into the anime angle that they've kind of been touching on here and there, but like treat it kind of like Big O, like find somebody that you can collaborate with and come together to like really bring it to life and give it like a real strong PG-13. Don't like go full anime with it, where it's little kids and it's some of people like Pokemon. It's like don't go to that angle with it. Like keep it grounded in the comic books, but just take that anime element, find a talented director, whatever, producer, yeah, and collaborate with them to make something like dope and unique for Marvel. I think that's a great angle to look for.
Yeah, I mean that future Avengers anime they have, that joint's terrible. It's terrible, bro. It doesn't look terrible, but it is terrible. It you know what it looks like? It looks like Digimon with Avengers.
Then that would probably be up my. I would probably enjoy it, but
it's not though.
Nah.
Cause like, listen, like I'm a Digimon guy over a Pokemon guy. Let's not even get that twisted. Which I'm not even positive how that happened. It just is what it is. But it's just kind of corny. It's like, they got these three characters that are like. I actually like the concept. The concept of it is there are these children who are raised on this island that is run by Hydra. And they are raised from children to believe that the Avengers are the bad guys. And they believe that they're the good guy. Right? So, and then they, of course, like in the very first episode, they realize that's not what it is. They end up joining the Avengers or whatever, and they kind of come in as like trainees or whatever. But it's so Japanese. And it leans so heavily into some of the anime tropes that don't even always work well in anime, that like every time Thor throws his hammer, this dude yells hammer throw or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Lightning strike. Like it's so bad, bruh. It's so bad that it feels very Saturday morning even still, and that's not what it should be. You know what I mean? So like what you're talking about, like the X-Men anime joint clean, the Blade joint clean. That's kind of where they need to be, but they still have to make it American enough that audiences here will buy into it, that it will feel for to them.
Right. That's what I said. I take like a Big O kind of approach. You know what I mean? Where it was enough for us, and it had enough anime for them to pull those fans in it as well. So find somebody to, find a talented artist over there to build up and bridge that gap. I think that's the way this should go.
Hey, you see what just happened? You see what just happened? You looking at the chat?
Oh no, I saw. I just saw it. I'm willing to take that back from J. Robert. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win, but I probably may still do that though. Like
now you probably should.
I probably will.
Do that. Just do that anyway. K-Sean, glad you joined us, man. Hey, look, you might be right. A relaunch of Milestone could be what they're planning. It kind of makes sense. It fits with what the times we're in currently are. But they just got to be careful that it doesn't come off super corny because they're doing it, and it doesn't feel like they're only doing it specifically because of the times we're in. Even if it was what they were planning, and it could have been, it might come off feeling very, you know what I mean? Curveball.
Oh, there it is.
What's
Sin,
sir?
Who is your second favorite comic book character of all time? Hero, villain, whatever. Your second favorite. I already know who is first. So who's your second favorite?
God, that's a tough question.
That's why it's a curveball, sir.
Yeah.
Favorite of all time? I'm gonna have to say Gambit.
Okay. I know Gambit is but he's not Rogue.
Nah. Not my Southern Belle.
Where does that put Cap for you?
Probably third.
That was your top three. So Rogue, Gambit, Cap.
Yeah.
Huh. Jokes?
Man, that's. I'm going second too, or you doing number one?
Second. Your second favorite.
I
don't care what your first favorite is.
That's cool. That's actually. I mean, I would have to say because I probably would say Batman because yeah, I mean, Batman's solid. I mean, certain we get the Batman side. Like I didn't want to bring up Batman because then it's gonna be a whole thing. But
Bro, listen. I said, who's your second favorite comic book character, not who's your second favorite superhero. We're good. We
Okay,
fit the category.
we good, we good.
You're good.
We're in category. But
We're good.
I probably would go Batman. He probably wouldn't be my favorite, but he's definitely in the top. Same thing, top three.
You know what? I have to go back to mine because for some reason I was thinking heroes in my brain, and you just when you correct the jokes, you said favorite comic book character.
And I know who.
Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna
why I said it could be hero, villain,
But
whatever.
he said number two. But he said number two.
Number two.
Because I know what. In that case, I think I know what your number one would be.
Just slide rogue to number two then.
Yeah, I think I know what your number one would probably be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm with that. Batman. So who's your third?
Joker. Because now that you kind of rephrase that same thing, like I probably actually I'll take that back. I probably would flip flop that. I'm more of a villain type person. I probably would put Joker as number two, just for his pure insanity.
Joker would be second. Batman is your third.
I need to rework this because now that you kind of clarified that a little bit.
Work it out, bro. I'm listening.
Nope,
What's
I'm
up?
good. I got mine.
He's like, I'm happy with my choice. I'm good.
I got my top three. I know what they are. Joker, Rogue, Gambit. Good.
Good for you. Good for you. This one's a little tricky for me, but
I don't have any villains. My top three is no villains.
I was about to say you can't say Spider-Man. So I just
What I ask you, right now?
I actually can say Spider-Man because there are enough spider people.
Very
Oh,
true.
fine,
He could get that off.
Yeah,
Peter
I
Parker,
could actually
Miles
get away with
Morales,
that, but I'm not.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
He's good at the list.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite rapper of all time? Who's your favorite rapper? Dylon, and But no,
Right.
But yeah, probably Joke, and then I probably would go Cap. Like I've become.
Hey,
No.
Chris Lightning going hard right now. Yeah, just
He
Ain't
is.
nobody thinking about Chris right now. Nobody thinking about Chris.
oh man, said I hate Joker and Batman.
But I probably would put Joker. I would put Cap up there, probably number three. Like Cap's story has grown with me over the years, and kind of seeing the parallel of the good side of Cap and then like an evil side, whether you want to say Captain Hydra, whatever you want to call it. Like his story resonates me the most. Civil War coming into play, like Cap is just like it's just like one of those solids for me that's just grown on me over time. And I think honestly, Cap probably would go close to the top of me. I think he's probably the one storyline wise that I've probably followed a good chunk of his comic book storyline outside of any of the animated ones. I think Cap is probably one that I've stuck with for a very long time. And I would say I've consistently read his stuff, stayed up with him. I'd probably go up to the top, honestly.
He is a villain, Captain Hydra. I'm seeing some good joints in here, man. Let's see. All right, so J. Robert Dean's Iceman.
That's all. That's one of his favorites. That's one of his
One of your
favorites.
boys, yeah. One of your boys.
Ooh, man, look, Iceman. There was a long time when it would have been Spider-Man, then Iceman. But it's Spider-Man for me. Spawn is my second. It's Spider-Man, Spawn, Iceman.
Okay.
I feel like if I put those three up against anybody, I lose.
You're right, Dean.
That dude, man, I can't. Woo, Clayface, the Immortal Hulk. I mean, yeah, the Infraggable Crump. I'm with that. Uncle Ben, no Spidey.
No.
Huh?
But you know what?
Come on, man.
You know what? Speaking of, like, so let's say I want to take that Clayface. Who would y'all choose between Clayface and Hush? Just for the ability, like being able to have other people's identities and being able to. Which one of the two of them would you pick?
Like, which one do I like more?
Mm-hmm.
Hush.
Hush is,
Yeah,
bruh.
yeah,
Hush.
I like Clayface.
yeah.
Hush is tough, bruh. I
I
don't
really.
know if that.
I don't think like don't even when the animated Hush movie
Yeah.
came out, I thought that joint was kind of fire. That joint was kind of fire.
That was tough.
But I think Hush is one of those characters that only gets a little bit of limelight. Like when I finally caught up and watched all of Batwoman, and they actually introduced Hush in Batwoman, and
Oh yeah, I know that.
I'm like, not necessarily
You
that.
fill my heart.
Not
Yeah,
not I will
Hey, he
say
twists his pearls.
not
Ooh.
necessarily that DC animated movie Hush, but it's an interesting take on what they've done with them. And I think they're using it looks like they're going to use Hush to kind of maybe bring in some other DC characters with just doing like the disguising and all that to kind of set
Yeah.
some people up. So I kind of like that on the Hush side, but
Are they digging into the Marvel Scrolls thing that we're figuring is what Phase 4 is all gonna be about anyway? Is it just like allowing them to kind of just make
and
other characters appear? Is that what you're saying?
I think yeah, I make these characters feel like I'm not gonna spoil it. They've introduced through Hush a character, like a main DC character that we probably wouldn't have thought we were gonna see on one of the DC CW shows. So I'm interested to see how that goes and to see if this person is going to stick with actually acting as this character or if this is going to be like one of those bring them in, use them for the Hush storyline, and then just get rid of them or something like that. But Hush definitely is going to...
Let me get in these comments for a second because...
Yeah, the comments are starting to...
Yeah, they rolling in.
Larry, what up, Larry? So,
Hey.
I dig that. He does have Superman as number one. I don't have time to hate on that right now.
Nah.
Tyrone, I don't have time to hate on right now either.
Hey,
Superman, General Zod, and Deathstroke. General Zod? Ty, come on, man.
Really?
Is that because of the movies? I'm actually interested.
Now, look, of course, Justice League Superman, Miles Morales, and Flash.
Which Flash?
Okay, hold on. Now, Dave Robert is moving Iceman. Usagi Yojimbo, left field, clean character.
Yeah, very left field.
Usagi Captain Iceman. Whoo! Man, look. Let me tell you something. Iceman's so powerful, bro. And and for real, y'all know I became an Iceman fan because of Spider-Man and his amazing friends. But Iceman is a G, bro. Iceman is a G, bro. And he's OP now. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't need to give him all the powers they gave him. You know what I mean? Like, being able to turn into like steam or like any form of water, like that's going.
My man's just Iceman. Like I do with ice. Nah, I can do everything else. So it's more like Water Man.
Good when he was just
at that point, because
I can speak the flow of blood to your brain. Like, I'm good with that. Man. I don't. Justice Lord Superman is still Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. I would have picked myself for my storyline out of that.
Hey, get it out there. Hey.
Chris Lightning the God.
Get it out there. But like,
oh boy.
The only time that I really truly like Superman is when he just cuts loose. Like, he kind of loses those restraints.
Injustice Superman.
Almost like more of like an Injustice Superman. Or
like at the end of Apocalypse War.
Let's take that and let's take it back.
At the end of Apocalypse War.
Justice League Unlimited too. Justice League Unlimited, I think, was when he cut loose and was fighting Darkseid and was like, yo, you can take this beating and I don't need to hold back. And just went to town on him.
I mean,
but yes.
There's a little bit of that in Batman Superman joint where they introduced Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
That fight with Darkseid at the end of that joint, bruh. Supergirl shows up in that joint.
Yeah. Classic.
That whole end scene I didn't actually see coming. Like, I thought it was gonna end like after the whole apocalypse thing was done.
Right.
Thought the movie was done.
Come through the door.
I was like, what just happened?
Open the door like, hey, I'm about to introduce you to my parents. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Hey, bruh.
That joke called me
a whole farmhouse down. Hey, bruh.
Yeah,
that's one of the best.
Oh, that's one of the best fights in the DC animated universe. Supergirl versus Darkseid.
Period.
Yeah.
That movie right there. Hey, listen. The animated shorts, the DC shorts, the Catwoman joint, clean.
The Green Arrow joint.
The Superman Shazam
The
joint.
joint.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They fighting Black Adam, bruh. They wrecking that joint, man. That's what a lot of the Marvel joints are missing. It's just straight up fights, bruh. Like there's not enough just all out wrecking. Like there's no. I feel like the animated Marvel joints don't have any comic book level wrecks. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just no. They got comic book level threats,
but they don't
but
end
not
up
comic book level. What, bruh? Hey, bruh.
That's
Supergirl beat the brakes off Darkseid, bruh.
Dog.
Like that, bruh. She beat the brakes off Darkseid. I'm like, hey, Darkseid ain't even. She was.
You weren't ready for that. He didn't know she was coming with all that.
Nah.
He didn't know she was coming with that.
And you just gonna break my new grandparents' door down?
Mm-mm.
Nah, we ain't having that. Woo, that joint is clean, man. Larry said, y'all taking me back. I forgot about them joints. Yeah, go watch them joints again, bro.
There's some revisits. There's definitely some revisits.
Woo.
Oh,
you
man.
right, Eddie. Iceman, Omega level. And that's the thing that they could really do. Because if Marvel started leaning, and here's the thing. Now that they got Fox back, I feel like they can start leaning into mutants more. And doing more stuff that actually shows the level of power that some of these characters have. And if they come up with scenarios that actually allow you, like, can we really see what Storm is capable of? Like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Cut loose moment. You gotta
having the mutants back and being able to actually utilize those characters, even though I'm kind of tired of them because we've just seen them rehashed over and over again. Again, my thing is just like, there are so many mutants to pull from. We don't need that core X-Men
team
group again. I don't need to see Cyclops. Like, he can get mentioned. He can show up, have a cameo. I don't need it. Not at all. No more Jean Grey. No more Dark Phoenix. There's so much more to tell. And they're not doing it. So, man, if they really were to lean into what some of the strengths are of, especially some of the characters that have been treated more like side characters, really kind of lean into Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Okay.
Really lean into like Magic and Peter and Colossus. Like, just Colossus is getting a little bit of play because of the Deadpool movies. You know what I mean?
Lean into Rogue and let's get rid of that BS version they had over in the X-Men movies.
But that's the thing. They can do that now because they got Captain Marvel.
Right.
So if they bring Rogue in,
they can do it.
She can drain her power and get it and be a banger, bro. Like,
yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually send you. Somebody tagged me in. There is a Gambit fan film.
I saw
that. I gotta
finish it. I saw at the beginning of it. I gotta finish it though. But it looked clean from what I saw.
What are y'all doing, man? Why y'all ain't put that out right? I said that fight with Wonder Woman and Big Barda. Hey, Big Barda joint.
Yeah. That was clean.
Clean. That joint was clean. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, one of the things about the DC films is that they have very well thought out, animated, choreographed fights.
They do.
They're bangers, bro.
You know
that's
what?
That's in the Apocalypse War.
Oh, yeah.
What?
No, I was going to say, that's probably the only thing about Doomsday. Like, him and Doomsday actually wrecking. I give him probably, that took up a good chunk. And that fight between them was that. Now, that probably would be the one major piece of that I would truly keep. But
one of my favorite fights is Judas Contract, Nightwing versus Deathstroke in the apartment.
Slim. Listen. For real? Hey, look. Deathstroke and Damian.
Yes.
In the what? Bruh. That's what I'm saying. Like, they really they got bangers. Like, if you try to think of any Marvel joint right now, you can't think of a good fight.
Can't do it.
In
outside of the live action movies, yeah, you can't.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying. Like, again, even in like Hulk versus, I mean, the Hulk and Wolverine joint is okay.
Right. But
the Hulk Thor joint is not even really a fight. Hulk's just devastating
destroying
everybody.
everything.
Destroying
It's still fun to
everything.
watch.
yeah, but it's not
Super
like
fun to watch.
we can't pick out like two people that had a fight that we're sitting there talking about the DC universe. About yo, fair fight was epic. Like you can't
we
do
can
that
go
with
through.
them.
I was like Superman versus the Elite, and him at the end fighting all of them, and then starts turning into like that evil dark side of like whoa, is Supes really doing this right now?
He finally is like, okay, I've been holding back. I'm gonna have to turn it on for y'all. Like I'm gonna have to actually show you what I can actually do.
Right.
That version of Superman, that's the one we looking for. That's why Superman don't sit at the top of my list. Because I just be wanting to be like just a little more often. You just gotta remind people how much you're holding back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the same way Batman did in Apocalypse War at the end. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just saying. When Batman said I've been holding back, but I'm not. All right, that's a fight.
Superman some trash. Period. Point blank.
You don't care which way it is.
Bro. When Superman turns up, he is a savage. He has it in him. That's why I like when they do have him fight, like solid. When they give him somebody that he really needs to fight against, it turns into something. Mm-hmm. That's what does it for him. Batman a sucker. Hey, look, we're not gonna get into no more Batman. We're not gonna badmouth Batman this go round. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it this time.
Apocalypse War, Batman in Apocalypse War.
Thug.
I'm happy they use what they did for Batman in Apocalypse War. Like when you first see what's occurring to him, I was like, "Oh."
Homeboy said him.
Yeah, of course.
Out of everybody, you right here. Let's go.
The rest of y'all, I'm gonna make y'all fighters. The rest of this, yeah, that joint is. All right, look, man, we gotta get ready to wrap this up. We ran a little long. First and foremost, I want to one more time wish you a happy birthday, Jokes.
Appreciate it.
I hope you had a great day. I hope you continue to have a great evening. We launched a new channel. Snack Bite channel is live. If you look forward to it, it's Snack Bites by Loading Snacks. Right now, it's just Snack Bite Classics. Most of what's there is stuff that has already been released in some fashion. As we continue to create new content, again, we're having to create things in a very different way than the way we used to. But there is a lot of content that's there now and a lot more to come that's already there. We will be building stuff around that. So you guys make sure you check that out. If you're not already subscribed, by all means, Snack Bites by Loading Snacks on YouTube. You guys check that out. For those of you guys who are subscribed to us on Patreon, we greatly appreciate you. It makes it much easier for us to keep doing what we're doing. If you like it, please pass the word to other people. Let them know they can support us the same way. If you are not following us on social media, by all means, make sure you do that. It's at Loading Snacks across everything. Feel free to send a birthday shout out to Jokes at New Joker 89. 89. 89. Hey, listen. We got another episode of Anime Vault coming on Thursday.
Sure.
Episode 4. What episode is this? What is this one about?
It's Crying Freeman this week.
Crying Freeman.
That is an
old school classic.
Yes, it is.
Right there.
Yes, it is.
Old school classic. Man, I used to rent them joints from the Blockbuster all the time. All the time.
You're not the only one, sir. You're not the only one.
All the time. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all check out Anime Vault. That's 2:00 on Thursday. Tomorrow night, we go live again for Cutscenes video game show. Let me just tell you now. It is going to be an action.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a big one.
It's going to be an action-packed show. I got so many notes. I don't even think we can stick it all into an hour. We're going to do the best we can.
But, hey, if it's good,
right now, I'm warning them and warning y'all. Because it's going to be, we got some things to talk about. So I'm not gonna overdo that. Hey, my man wants to hear about the great music in Akira-sen.
Oh, the soundtrack was fire. In Akira, soundtrack was fire. Okay. I mean, I didn't touch too much on that, like in the thing or whatever. But no, the soundtrack was fire. Yeah.
No doubt. All right, look, we're gonna wrap this one up. Jokes, you gonna have you ain't got no cake. You didn't get cake. Did you get like special food to eat or anything today?
Hey, no, we went out. Me and my girl went out. We went to Coal Fire. We got some pizza. Like we still kind of stayed away from other people. We just brought it back here. But otherwise, just a chill. It was just a chill day, relaxing, watch some TV. Like, I mean, it's rare. Like, sometimes we're not off on the same days. This is when we finally managed to actually get the same day off. So it was just really cool, chill, laid back type of day. Like, that's all. That's really what I appreciate now.
I dig that. I can appreciate that. Stuff like that does come with age. I want presents though. So listen. Again, one more time, happy birthday to you. Thank you guys for all tuning in. We will see you guys tomorrow live at 8 o'clock for cutscenes.
Yep.
With that, we're out. Toodles and loos.
Woo!
What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.